Insomniac has a crazy cool opportunity if they implement this one mechanic into the new Spider Man game. So obviously we've gotten 2 Spider Man games already, one for Miles and one for Peter, and both being very successful, so much so where we're getting a 3rd game branding both of the heroes, Miles and Peter, together against Venom. And probably some other missions along the way. That's how these games work. However, something the trailer kind of hints at is Miles and Peter both being in the same game, possibly both being playable. We've already played as both of them with both the games, with Miles' game and Peter's game. So it would make sense logically for the next step to be we could play as both of them. So I had an idea on the way to incorporate this in the best way possible. Obviously, the most bare bones way to incorporate this would be give Miles and Peter different missions and let you switch off between them, right? But I have an idea, and I think it might be pretty cool. So if anybody's ever played Batman Arkham Knight, you kind of get where I'm going with this. In some of these missions, you get the opportunity to play as Batman with some of his sidekicks, with Robin, with Nightwing, so on and so forth. You get the opportunity to play as them and with them. And one of the things you can do is you can switch off between characters in the middle of a move. So essentially, there'd be like a combo meter. You get to a certain combo with Nightwing, and you do a duo team takedown, and you switch off to Batman in that move, right? So it's not like you're pressing a button to click a different character. You're doing a move that uses both the characters, and you switch off in between them, right? Option 2 would be taking the idea of GTA 5, where you get a wheel of characters, and you get to play the story of each one. Essentially, Miles and Peter would be in different parts of the city. Obviously, they're not going to be together all the time, and you could select to switch between the two. But the 3rd option is combining the first 2, and this is the way I think it can work possibly the best for this game. You give the players the option to pilot either Miles or Peter within the game. They can follow each other throughout the story. If there's a mission that demands you need to play as one of the 2, it would force you to play as that character, of course. But if we get the missions where you play together, combine these 2 aspects. So, if Miles and Peter are not in the same spot, if they're patrolling different ways around, and this works more in free roam and after the game, you can switch between the 2 in some sort of a fast travel mechanic. So you just pull up on the wheel and you switch between the 2. Or it would do some sort of cityscape to get from one character to the next. And when Miles and Peter are together, you can switch between them in that moveset idea, when they're either fighting or swinging. Imagine how cool it would be if you're swinging as Miles, and as your combo meter hits the max, you click a button, and you shoot a web, and Peter flies off that web, and then the camera follows to track Peter now. And now you're following Peter. And you could do so as many times as you wanted to following that combo meter. So essentially you could play as both heroes, both characters, and switch off between the 2 in a more cohesive way, rather than it being like a Lego game where you just select each character. Obviously this is not true, this is just what I think and an idea I had. If you have a better idea, I'd love to hear it down below, but let me know what you think about this one.